Trump sends a letter to Iran on nuclear program, make a deal or face U.S. militarily. Rob, if you got this clip here, this is the negotiation with Iran on the nuclear program. Here's Trump. Go for it, Rob.
I hope that Iran, and I've written him a letter saying, I hope you're going to negotiate, because if we have to go in militarily, it's going to be a terrible thing for them.
You wrote a letter to the Khomeini,
Yes.
the leader? When did you send the letter?
Yesterday.
And you said you better negotiate, or we want you to negotiate?
I didn't say you better. I said,
Okay.
I hope you're going to negotiate, because it's going to be a lot better for Iran. And I think they want to get that letter. The other alternative is we have to do something, because you can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
Adam.
So there was a great article in the Wall Street Journal, if I can pull it up real quick, about, they called it, Iran is weak, will Trump be strong? Tehran will try to delay and humor Trump like other presidents. And basically what they do is they lay out you talked about leverage in negotiations. What leverage does Iran have at this point? What leverage do they have?
China.
They have China, but how long is China going to back them up? I don't know. Is that what's going to happen there? So it said, essentially the article lays out the fact that Iran is in no position to dictate terms with the United States. Their misery index, you said in 2020 they had a chance to basically reverse course. This is the first time since 1979 that they've been in a position of absolute weakness. Israel has taken out all their proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah. They're dealing with the Houthis. You see what's going on in Syria. Lebanon is going through a restructuring right now. Their misery index is one of the worst in the world. The people of Iran are amazingly just able people, but they're basically being subjugated by this theocratic regime. Trump is putting maximum pressure on Iran right now. He knows this is the time, because what is Trump's fear? What is the rest of the Middle East fear, including Saudi, including UAE? Iran getting a nuclear weapon. That's the one thing they're like, no. So Obama appeased them, Jimmy Carter appeased them. It was only Republicans who are basically saying, nah, Iran, we're not playing this game. So Trump recognizes that he has 2, maybe to 4 years to say, we're not messing with you. What do you think this letter said? Hey, let's be friends, let's be nice. Basically, he said, don't make us do what we're willing to do.
You better deliver on the threats, though.
I was just going to say, he better.
Deliver on those threats. There's been too many threats lately of, if you don't do this, we're going to do this. There's got to be some delivery on them.
Yeah, and Malik, and Adam, you nailed it. He's preventing them from getting nuclear weapons. I mean, it doesn't help the fact that the Biden administration with Anthony Blinken unfroze, what was it, Tom? $6 billion?
Yep.
$6 billion to help them. It's crucial, because they have been enriching uranium, and they're getting it, because Pat, you know what they're doing? They're getting it close to weapons grade levels. And who's to say where they're at? Where are they in that process? But I'm like, if you're already there, then Adam, because I personally think that if they're this worried, and he's talking about it like this, if they're not very, very close, they probably already have something that they could definitely use to attack. That's the scary part.
Well, the issue here is we've never, under Biden, we were never willing to have anything that we did except by hitting their proxies, right?
Yes.
Like their proxies were camped out in Syria. Bonk, right? Okay. If your proxies are camped out with the Hezbollah in Syria, we're going to drop cruises on you. And we did.
Yes.
And we did. What he's talking about, you better be ready for it. Now the cruises fly into their airspace, and there's 5 locations that are supposedly the research labs, and we know exactly where they are. And basically that would seriously interrupt their nuclear program. Now, is he willing to do that? What we were just talking about, you got to be willing to make good on the threat.
Yep.
Because what he's talking about, if we send, the high impact cruise missiles over there and we hit those 5 locations, it says, I told you not to make nukes. Yeah. You're up in your bedroom making nukes. Your dad and I told you, don't do that. And we mess the place up.
Yep.
We have to be willing to do that. And if we're not willing to do that, it's just an idle threat, because that, if you read all the CIA threat assessments and stuff, those 5 locations is what Iran wants to protect.
Here's another clip.
Ultimately build it.
Here's another clip. Go forward, Rob.
Well, there are 2 ways Iran can be handled, militarily or you make a deal. I would prefer to make a deal, because I'm not looking to hurt Iran. They're great people. I know so many Iranians from this country.
Well, not the leadership.
No, not the leadership.
The
no,
people.
They're very evil people.
Obviously.
No, but the people of Iran are great people. But they had a tough regime, and they'd meet and they'd be shot in the streets. I mean, it was a tough deal.
While that's being said, here's a story from The Hill. Iranian leader rejects Trump's push for nuclear talk. Ayatollah Khomeini rebuffed Trump's call for nuclear talk, stating on Saturday, some coercive governments insist on negotiations such negotiations aren't aimed at solving issues. They aim to exert their dominance and impose what they want. He argued that talks are a tool to impose new demands, adding Iran will definitely not fulfill these new demands, especially on defense and military limits. And obviously that's we'll see how that's going to be reacting towards it. But Vinny, I think you want to say something.
Well, it's just, I don't know, man, because now I can see what you guys are talking about, the left and stuff for them to argue about. If you think of a lot of stuff that we were promised and that people were told, especially as on the other side, you can see, Tom, now it's like now all of a sudden recession might be on the horizon. All right, he was talking about no wars. This looks like, because after him saying this, looks like the war stuff is happening. We were promised JFK. We were promised all the Epstein list. It's almost like in all three of these fronts, everything that we were told and that we were promised, it's all kind of coming to a point where now the left, I think, can have that thing to fight for. And the other side could be like, hey, man, what? All this stuff that you said that was going to happen, it seems as if all of it is starting to turn the other way.
National Book Month. And here's what we're doing for this month for March. It's funny, I had a couple book recommendations for my son I gave. Vinny, you're reading a book that's pretty insane on the way down here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but for those of you guys that are big readers, if you haven't yet read Choose Your Enemies Wisely, The Academy, or Your Next 5 Moves, if you're a parent, you want your kids to be thinking so they can think for themselves, so the educational system can't brainwash them, go to The Academy for them. Both my boys have read that book, 11, 12. I think anything above 11 is good for that book. But if you order any of these books this month, we're sending you custom bookmarks. Rob, can you show some of the custom bookmarks? That's the Valuetainment one. We have a couple other ones.
Nice.
We have the Academy one. We have the Valuetainment one. We have the What's Your Next Moves. Anybody that orders a book, we send you 3 bookmarks with any of the books. Go to vtmerch.com. All the books are signed. You can pick up any one of them you want at vtmerch.com. Get reading, folks. Get reading so you cannot be brainwashed by the people that are trying to do it to you, whether it's the mainstream media, whether it's teachers to your kids. Get yourself and your kids reading so you can be liberated. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.